I went to see Thunderbolts on opening night in IMAX. Let's see what I thought. Woo! Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content as well as movie content here on this channel every week. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above. I do also have a specific Marvel movie playlist, so I will link that as well at some point, so keep an eye out for that in the cards in the end screen. So yeah, I always like to see a film if it's been filmed partly in IMAX or if it's been filmed for IMAX. I always like to try and see it in IMAX to see if it makes a difference. So I potentially will go and watch this one in regular format to see if there's actually a big difference between that and the IMAX format. But yeah, I didn't know what to expect with this one. I'd only seen a few trailers. It wasn't like with Captain America, the new Captain America, where I'd just seen so many trailers. And so it was kind of like leading up to it, it was so hyped up, whereas I didn't feel like this one was hyped up. I'd only seen a few trailers for it, and so the trailers just kind of look a little bit silly. And so I thought, is this going to be a really funny one? Is it going to be, more in the line of Guardians of the Galaxy? But it was Kevin Feige that was directing it, and so it's going to be Avengers style, Avengers-esque. And it is an ensemble thing. We've got various different people coming together. So I was definitely excited to see the return of Bucky and the Winter Soldier, because obviously he pops up in the last Captain America film, and we know from like Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus that we're going to be seeing more from him. And so I was kind of excited to see what he would do. And I thought that they got his role really right in this film. He's a little bit like the grown-up in this film, having gone through what he's gone through and been with an ensemble group before and been alive for a lot longer than the other characters in this film. He is the sort of the grown-up, the voice of reason, the person that goes, right, this is what we need to do in this film. And then there are moments of the film that are really funny and really silly, and there are moments that are really sweet as well. So I was going through this film going, oh, it's actually, it's only a 12, it's quite light-hearted, it's made people laugh, like it was a very busy cinema, which is great. I love seeing a busier cinema on opening night, not like when I saw Snow White. And so people were laughing. It was kind of just, there was some awe moments, and there was some moments where you're like, oh yeah, these people are superheroes, but they're just normal people with normal lives as well. And then like Julia Louis-Dreyfus is just so camp and over the top in this film, so she provides a lot of like comedy value as well. I think if you were looking for her to be like playing an actual straight-laced serious character, like you might have seen her in other things, then you might be disappointed and you might think that she's overacting. But I think that she's playing a character who constantly overacts, and so I think she actually played it really well. It felt a little bit cringy sometimes, but I think you're meant to feel that way about her. And I thought that she, again, had a bigger role than I thought she was going to based on the trailer. She is a pivotal kind of like, it's a bit the villain in this one, but I think we know that from the trailers anyway. So yeah, some really sweet moments, but then you have these super dark moments, and again, no spoilers here. So you swing from like laughing and having sort of like heartwarming moments, sweet moments, coming of age type of moments where you're like, oh, I'm just settling back watching this one, it's just a little bit like and then you have these really dark moments where people are kind of like questioning their existence, where people are struggling with depression and kind of like suicidal thoughts, and just feeling like they're in an empty void, and being completely consumed by darkness. And those parts are really, really dark. There was this one segment of the film that kind of gets so dark, I would say it's almost like watching sort of like a psychological thriller or a horror type of bit of the film. Like, I definitely have quite an overactive imagination, and I was genuinely worried that these bits are going to give me nightmares, because it was really quite dark. And so I mean, sort of semi be warned going into that, but I thought it was really interesting that they went between the really funny positive moments and, really sweet heartwarming moments that was kind of felt a bit like Marvel light, to then these really, really dark moments. Big fight scenes and things like that, I would say there's not as many as in your classic ensemble Marvel movies such as the Avengers, which again led to that kind of like feeling of, this is a bit light, a bit fluffier, a bit more comedic, a little bit more Guardians of the Galaxy. But then those dark moments were like very dark. I suppose we do have, we do have a Black Widow character in there, and we know that those people who've been trained in the Red Room do have a dark history and do have a dark past, and so that is going to be something that's going to be explored further in this film as we get to know Yelena and her character a little bit more. I thought that David Harbour again was very funny, very over the top and camp, and almost like overacting, but I think that his character is just so like that, and we all know somebody who's that intense and that enthusiastic about things. The music of this one, I was trying to like really pick up on what this kind of ensemble's theme tune was. That was slightly hard to pick up. I was kind of like getting a little bit of Avengers at some point, and then not, and then getting a bit more classical at some point, and then not. So I thought that was interesting. And in terms of the CGI, it was really good. I mean, I think that the Kevin Feige like ensemble type films, the CGI in them is pretty flawless. I really like it. And there is a mid-credit scene and an end-credit scene, and the end-credit scene is quite long. So if you're going to need a bathroom break at some point, even though this isn't a super long film, make sure you go between the mid-credit scene and the end-credit scene, because the end-credit scene you're going to want to stay for, because it's got a little bit of wrap up. It is like a little mini epilogue, and then there's a little bit of a sneak peek of the next film as well. And again, that's not spoiler. You can look up whether there's an end credits or a mid credit scene. So yeah, overall, I thought it was good. I enjoyed myself. I'd quite happily go again. It's not one of those where I'm like, oh, you must see this film, it's so good. I think it's a really sort of important part of the MCU canon, because it's quite a pivotal coming together ensemble type of movie, and so I think it's definitely worth seeing. Do you need to pay your cinema going money to go and see it? I thought it was good on IMAX. I wasn't blown away by the sound and vision. I think that you'd be fine seeing it on the regular screen. I think it does have a bit of something for everybody, but be warned that it is that little bit darker, especially if you're taking kids to go see it. There's going to be some explaining needed for certain things, I think. So yeah, it's definitely worth your cinema going money to pay to go and see it. And I think that to really kind of get the ins and outs of those darker bits as well, it's worth having your full focus on it. So I do recommend it. It's not one of those like you must rush out and see it now, but it's nice to see it with bigger crowds, especially with all the laughs it's got. So I'll let you make up your own mind on that one. It's a bit of a non-committal one there. It's worth your money, but I'm not saying you have to. Okay, as always, if there is a particular movie you want me to go and watch this week and come back and report to you next week, let me know in comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I have bookish content coming your way as well. I've been vlogging some reading, so you're not going to want to miss out on that one. And I will see you with my next video. Thanks for watching.